Hi, folks. This is Harold Ree with the Paw Print Animal Rescue Podcast. On Thursday, we're going to be bringing you a full interview with Michelle Sathe with Best Friends Animal Society. Go to thisispawprint.com for more details. But right now, we're offering a bonus track where Michelle, who is also an author, reads excerpts from the 5th chapter of her book called Pit Stops. You can learn more about Pit Stops by going to pitstopsbook.com. You can also learn more about Best Friends by going to bestfriends.org. Learn about the Strut Your Mutt fundraising campaign going on September, October across the country, as well as the documentary The Champions, which focuses on several pit bulls who survived the Michael Vick dogfighting operation several years ago. We just want to say thank you to Michelle Sathe for this reading, and here's Michelle.
So this is from my first book, Pit Stops, and I'm going to read from chapter 5, which is called Michael Vick Crab Cakes and Cheesesteaks. I know it sounds strange, but like I said, we were crossing the country doing all sorts of stuff. So it's when I went to Best Friends in Kanab and met Georgia, the pit bull, the victory dog. So that's the context. Georgia rolled around on her back in the brick red dirt of Kanab, Utah. There was a wide, toothless grin on her scarred face as she wiggled with her stomach exposed, awaiting for the inevitable rubs from John Garcia, co-manager of dog towns at Best Friends Animal Sanctuary and star of the TV show of the same name. Garcia watched the dog's antics with a wide grin. When she first came here, Georgia didn't like people. You couldn't touch certain parts of her body, Garcia said. Now it's just belly rubs and kisses. The pit bull was one of the 22 Vick dogs brought back to Best Friends in December 2007 for rehabilitation. These are mainly the older dogs or harder luck cases deemed the most difficult to turn around. When Garcia met Georgia during the assessment phase in Virginia, a kennel worker told him that Georgia didn't care about humans and would never become rehabilitated. Initially, Georgia wouldn't make eye contact with Garcia and even growled at him, but he kept moving forward. About halfway through the assessment, the pair made eye contact and Georgia's aggression melted away. I was surprised that the judge ruled in the dog's favor. I'm not aware of dogfighting bust dogs that had ever been allowed into rescue before, Garcia said. Obviously, we wanted to save their lives, but we also knew it was an opportunity to educate the public and show people they could be rehabilitated. Known formally as Jane, Georgia was one of Vick's prize fighters and breeders, a sad history that's readily apparent from the deep dark grooves and scratches slashed indiscriminately across her rust-colored face and body, which also bears large black nipples from her distended stomach. Despite her less than perfect appearance, Georgia has blossomed into a canine celebrity, with many media appearances under her belt. She and Garcia have been featured on Larry King Live, Ellen, and too many print publications to mention. She is particularly famous for bestowing her trademark kisses on unsuspecting crew members and reporters. A video of her attempting to make out with ESPN reporter Tom Forey is a hit on YouTube. She gives very unique kisses since she has no teeth and her tongue hangs out on the side of her mouth, Garcia said with affection. According to Garcia, the victory dogs, as they had been dubbed by Best Friends, began to make the transformation from victims to victorious after about a month at the sanctuary, though they showed signs of improvement right away. Upon arriving in southern Utah after their long journey from Virginia, each dog was released into a pen in Dogtown. Toys began flying in the air, water buckets were knocked over, and a rash of zoomies, or running around in tight, fast circles that Garcia noted pits do the best, broke out. They had been products of a stressful environment before, so now they were just doing what came naturally, Garcia said. I think they knew that we were here to help. Staffed with 5 full-time trainers, kennel management, and countless volunteers, Dogtown is a series of 37 octagon-shaped buildings on vast acreage at the sanctuary. Each individual run has a weatherproof enclosure with a doggy door that leads to a large fenced outdoor area. Also at Dogtown is the Best Friends Veterinary Clinic, where the sanctuary's approximately 2,000 animals are treated and the public is offered low-cost spaying and neutering. Several of the victory dogs suffered from medical ailments, usually a result of bad breeding or neglect, that Garcia felt contributed to their temperament issues. Denzel, a handsome black male with white swirls on his chest, almost died during a tooth extraction when he wouldn't stop bleeding from a disorder that thinned his blood. Others had to have knee replacements due to dysplasia. You know what? When humans don't feel well, they're snappy. It's the same thing with dogs, Garcia said. The victory dogs were also DNA tested to determine their lineage. To Garcia's surprise, most of the dogs were found to be mixes, showing secondary or just trace amounts of American Pit Bull Terrier. Only Layla, Georgia, and Ray Ray were primarily purebred pit bulls. While many of Dogtown's residents are paired with other dogs, the Victory dogs were initially kept separated due to their history. Daily reports began on the dog's activities and behaviors, which included learning how to walk on a leash, going for rides into town, and socializing with humans, often through overnight stays with staff. Slowly, they also became socialized with other dogs through gradual introductions. Today, many live in pairs, though some, like Georgia, still prefer their space. The staff has worked with Georgia so that she can now tolerate other dogs within leash distance rather than wanting to attack from 100 yards away, as was her nature when she arrived at Best Friends. To be considered for adoption per court order, the Victory dogs have to be in foster care with a potential adopter for 6 months and acquire their Canine Good Citizen certification during that time. Extensive background checks are also required on the adopters. Hallie, a pert, pouty black female, was the first Victory dog to find her forever home. She now shares couch time with Tacoma, another Best Friends bully rescue, and their human mom, Tracy. Last names and locations of Victory dog adopters are held in confidence. Photos show Tacoma with his arm protectively curled around Haley, who snuggles deep into his barrel chest. Tracy educates her community about pit bulls by taking the pair out and setting up a small setting area with signs that read, "Would you like to pet me or learn more about me? Please just ask." To get ready for his family, Handsome Dan, a buff tan male, was first taken for a series of overnight stays where he could become acclimated to the many sights and sounds found in a home. We introduced him to hardwood floors, mirrors, and anything else he might find traumatic. It doesn't matter what breed a dog is if they are under-socialized, Garcia said. When Handsome Dan went into his new home, he walked in as if he owned the place. The Victory's dog successes continue to unfold on Dogtown, and Garcia credited the show with an increase in volunteerism at Dogtown, as well as an increased acceptance of the pit bull breed. Our fan mail has been amazing. Most people don't automatically believe pit bulls equal vicious dog anymore, he said. Any positive media has been a bonus for these dogs. Ironically, it all stemmed from an incredibly negative beginning, which Vick has diligently tried to turn around as the new Humane Society spokesman against dogfighting, a move that some animal welfare activists dismissed as a public relations campaign to get him back in the NFL. Garcia remained neutral on the topic, but gave Vick credit for inadvertently helping the breed he once sought solely to destroy. I definitely think Michael Vick has brought awareness. People know now dogfighting is illegal instead of merely looked down upon, Garcia said. Honestly, I can't speak to whether Vick's sincere or not, but I hope he sticks to the track he says he's on. He's part of the culture of the inner city. It could be very helpful.
Thanks for listening, folks, and thank you, Michelle, for the reading. Join us on Thursday when we share the full interview with Michelle Sathe of Best Friends Animal Society. Go to thisispawprint.com for more details. Thanks, and have a great day.